Hello, my friends. Let's get started. So, we're going to keep talking about summer today. We have a lot to talk about, a lot to do. I have some things I want to show you. I have a great book to read, and we're going to make a really cool chart together. So, let's get started. So, the book that I have to read today is called On the Seashore. Okay? And it has a lot of summer things in it that you'll see. The beach, shells, she's dressed for her trip to the beach. She has a sun hat on, the water, seagulls. So let's read this story and then we'll get to everything else. Here we go. It's called On the Seashore, and it's by Anna Milbourne and Erica Jane Waters. Okay. Here's a picture of some nice shells at the beach. Oh, there's a little hermit crab and a starfish. Have you ever been down to the seashore to look for treasures the sea has left behind? They have their pails and a net, and they're going to go and see what they can find along the beach. Sometimes there are trails of frilly seaweed and lots of dainty seashells scattered across the beach. And sometimes, hidden among the rocks, there's a pool of shimmering water. That's called a tide pool. And there's a lot of little animals that live in a tide pool. Nothing in the rock pool seems to move at first. But if you watch very closely, you might see two shining eyes peering out of a small shell. It's a hermit crab, and he's very, very shy. He spots a juicy mussel and reaches out with his big, bumpy claw. He pulls the mussel out of his shell and gobbles it up in one gulp. People can eat mussels too. A hermit crab shares the rock pool with a spotty fish, 3 orange starfish, and a beautiful anemone. The anemone is sitting on a twirly shell. The twirly shell is bigger than the hermit crab shell. He feels inside it with his claw. There's no one living there. So he heaves himself out of his own shell to try the new one on. Without his shell, the hermit crab looks soft and very bare. He uses that shell to protect him. Suddenly, a seagull swoops out of the sky. It wants to eat him up. Quickly, the hermit crab dives into the twirly shell. And the seagull taps hungrily on the shell. But it can't reach the hermit crab hiding inside. See, it protected him. So it flies away to find its dinner somewhere else. The little hermit crab is safe. He drags his big new shell across the sand. With the pretty anemone sitting on top, he's hard to spot at the bottom of the pool. That's good camouflage. Seagull won't know he's there. Soon the gentle lapping waves start creeping up the seashore. They wash away the footprints and swallow up the sand. They cover the rocks, and the tide pool disappears. So the tide got higher and came in. So the tide pool is part of the ocean now. Under the waves, the spotty fish and 2 tiny shrimps are free to swim away. And that hermit crab clambers over the rocks and sets off to explore the deep blue sea. Maybe you'll find the hermit crab when the sea slips away again. Or maybe there'll be new treasures waiting to be found. I really like that story. All right. The next thing I want to do is take a look at some treasures that I have. So the first thing that I have to show you are some shells. Okay. And that's a real seashell. You can see there's an inside of it. And maybe a tiny hermit crab could have been living in there. Here's a little bit of a bigger one that has a pattern on it. You see it's twisty. And another one that has a darker pattern. How pretty. Here's a little baby guy. Okay. I also have some more things to show you from the ocean. This is, you got it, a starfish. It has 5 arms. Okay. Oh, here's another one. It's a little bit of a different color. So pretty. Those are real. This is a rubber one. But they are bumpy, just like that. I have a seahorse. And a little baby seahorse. An octopus. And check out this guy, just like from the story. Hermit crab. See, he's got his shell, his twirly shell, just like in the story, and his claws. And there he is. Wanted to show you that because it goes with the book. All right. Well, now that we looked at some of my treasures, we have to be very gentle with these because they're delicate. Let's make our chart. So what I did was draw a whole bunch of pictures for all of the seasons. And I'm going to mix them all up. And we are going to sort them. And you know what that means. We're going to put them into categories where they belong. So the categories are winter, spring, summer, and fall. Okay? Makes sense? I'm going to use glue to stick them on. And here we go. So let's take a look at the very first picture. I have a pumpkin. What season does a pumpkin belong in? Fall. You got it. And what's the fancy longer word for fall? Autumn. Good job. All right, what about this sandcastle? Definitely, that's our summer season. Good job. Okay. What about this one? School. When does school start again? When do we start our school year? That is in the fall. Good job. All right. Now, we know that birds fly away for the winter. When do we start seeing them flying back again? Yeah, in the spring, when the warm weather starts. Good job. All right, now what about this? When do we see a lot of beach balls? When are we playing with beach balls? You know it. In the summer. All right. Oh, and how about this one? What kind of leaves are these? We know the leaves change color in the fall. Great job. All right. What season does it rain a lot? We were just in it. We're starting to get some good weather. You got it. In the spring. All right. Oh. What season do we have snowmen? You got it. In the winter, of course. Okay. What season do we wear sunglasses and flip-flops? Yeah, right now. I have sandals on my feet right now. You got it. In the summer. Okay. Oh, what season do we wear hats and mittens? You know it. In the winter. Great. All right, let's see what else we have. With all that rain, what do we see? Rainbows. In what season? In the spring. You got it. I know you're answering along with me. All right, what about, when do we eat my favorite food, ice cream? Yup, of course, in the summer. All right, what about this? When do our trees lose all their leaves? In the winter. After they turn colors, then they fall right off the trees. All right. Well, what about this one? You guys love these. When do we see these? And we collected them this year. And squirrels like to eat them. That's right, they're called acorns, and we find a ton of them in the fall. Great. All right, let's take a... when do we go swimming in the pool or the ocean? Kind of looks like a spider. Sorry for my sad drawing of a swimming person. In the summer. All right, 2 more to go. Let's see. When do we do a lot of kite flying? In the spring. Goes with that windy weather. Great. And last but not least, when do we need to drink a hot cup of cocoa? In the winter to warm us up. You got it. Take a look at that beautiful chart we made together. And you're going to have a few of these to do for your activity sheets too. So you can do them at home. All right, I'll see you in just a minute for our craft.